People get banned for the dumbest reasons. For example, Gideon once got banned for getting his viewers to spam L plus ratio in this woman's chat. Today I'm gonna stop this by reading the Twitch terms of services. I would have done the YouTube terms of service, but Mr. Beast already did that. So yeah. By the way, I hid this gift card in the video for 1 millisecond. Good luck on finding it. We're getting straight into it. I have Subway Surfers in the corner somewhere if you can't concentrate. Introduction. Your agreement to these terms of service. Please read these terms of service carefully. This is a binding contract. Welcome to the services operated by Twitch Interactive Incorporated, collectively with its affiliates Twitch or We, consisting of the website available at twitch.tv and its network of websites, software applications, and any other products or services offered by Twitch, the Twitch services. Other services offered by Twitch may be subject to separate terms. When using the Twitch services, you will be subject to Twitch's community guidelines and additional guidelines or rules that are posted on the Twitch services, made available to you or disclosed to you in connection with specific services and features you may be offered. Twitch may also offer certain paid services which are subject to the Twitch terms of sale, as well as any additional terms of conditions that are disclosed to you in connection with such services. All such terms and guidelines, the guidelines, are incorporated into these terms of service by reference. The terms of service apply whether you are a user that registers an account with the Twitch services or an unregistered user. You agreed that clicking sign up or otherwise registering, downloading, accessing, or using the Twitch services, you are entering into a legally binding agreement between you and Twitch regarding your use of the Twitch services. You acknowledge that you have read, understood, and agreed to be bound by these terms of service. If you do not agree to these terms of service, you do not access or otherwise use any of the Twitch services. When using Twitch or opening an account with Twitch on behalf of a company, entity, or organization, collectively subscribing organization, you represent and warrant that you are an authorized representative of that subscribing organization with the authority to bind that organization to these terms of service and grant the licenses set forth herein, and agree to these terms of service on behalf of such subscribing organization. Right, so it's basically saying, do you agree to, these terms of services? Simple, just a simple introduction. Chapter 2, use of Twitch by minors and blocked persons. The Twitch services are not available to persons under the age of 13. If you are between the ages of 13 and the age of legal majority in your jurisdiction of residence, you may only use the Twitch services under the supervision of a parent or legal guardian who agrees to be bound by these terms of service. The Twitch services are also not available to any users previously removed from the Twitch services by Twitch or to any persons barred from receiving them under the laws of the United States, such as its export and re-export restrictions and regulations or applicable laws in any other jurisdiction. So saying, if you're banned or if you're a child, you can't use the services. You can only use it if you're a minor, if you have some parent supervision. Imagine if I wasn't recording this whole time. Let me check. All right, yeah, I'm still recording. All right, let's continue. By downloading, installing, or otherwise using the Twitch services, you represent that you are at least 13 years of age, that your parent or legal guardian agrees to be bound by these terms of service. If you are between 13 and the age of legal majority in your jurisdiction of residence, and that you have not been previously removed from and are not prohibited from receiving the Twitch services. Right? Simple enough. If you're a minor or if you're banned, you can't use the Twitch terms. You can't use Twitch. Yo, I stumbled on my words there. Right, short one, privacy notice. Your privacy is important in Twitch. Please see our privacy notice for information relating to how we collect, use, and disclose your personal information and our privacy choices, and how you can manage your online privacy when you use the Twitch terms of service. When you use the Twitch services. All right. Simple enough. Self-explanatory. Okay, your account. Account and password. In order to open an account, you will be asked to provide us with certain information such as account name and password. You are solely responsible for maintaining the confidentiality of your account, your password, and for restricting access to your computer. If you permit others to use your account credentials, you agree to these terms of service on behalf of all other persons who use the services under your account or password. And you are responsible for all the activities that occur under your account or password. Please make sure the information you provide to Twitch upon registration and at all other times is true, accurate, current, and complete to the best of your knowledge. Unless expressively permitted in writing by Twitch, you may not sell, rent, lease, transfer, share, or provide access to your account to anyone else, including without limitation charging anyone for access to administrative rights on your account. Twitch reserves all available legal rights and remedies to prevent unauthorized use of the Twitch services, including but not limited to technological barriers, IP mapping, and in serious cases, directly contacting your internet service provider, ISP, regarding such unauthorized use. Right. That one's just saying, Twitch has all the rights to make sure that, you provide all your details accurately and not try and circumvent any bans or anything. All right, let's continue. Third-party accounts. Twitch may permit you to register for and log on to the Twitch services via certain third-party services. The third party's collection, use, and disclosure of your information will be subject to that third-party service's privacy notice. Further information about how Twitch collects, uses, and discloses your personal information when you link your Twitch account with your account on any third-party service can be found in our privacy notice. Right, damn. The sun is kind of in my eyes right now, but we continue, all right? Use of this devices and services. Access to Twitch services may require the use of personal computer or mobile device, as well as communications with or use of space on such devices. You are responsible for any internet connection or mobile fees and charges from third parties that you incur while accessing the Twitch services. Right? That's pretty simple. You're responsible for your mobile bills. No one else is going to pay that for you. That should be common sense. Modification of these terms of service. Twitch may amend any of the terms of these terms of service by posting the amended terms and updating the last modified date above. Your continued use of the Twitch services after the effective date of the revised terms of service constitutes your acceptance of the terms. That was a mouthful right there. For residents of the European Union, of the European Economic Area, the United Kingdom, that's where I am, or Switzerland, who are acting as a consumer for a purpose which can be regarded as being outside your trade, craft, or profession, consumer, and have registered a Twitch account, Twitch will provide reasonable prior notice of amendments of these terms of service to the extent permitted by applicable law, not cancelling your agreement to use the Twitch services under these terms of service before the effective date would deem your consent to the amended terms. Where required, holy shit, I had like a malfunction right there. Where required by applicable law, Twitch will ask for your consent to these amended terms. Right. So obviously Twitch is gonna change the terms and services, just making sure that you guys know that. All right, license. The Twitch services are owned and operated by Twitch, unless otherwise indicated. All content, information, and other materials on the Twitch services, excluding user content set out in section 8 below, including, without limitation, Twitch's trademarks and logos, the visual interfaces, graphics, design, compilation, information, software, computer code, including source code or object code, services, text, pictures, information, software. I lost where I was for a second. Such a mouthful. All right. Services, text, pictures, information, data, sound files, other files, and the selection of and arrangement thereof, collectively the materials, are protected by relevant intellectual property and priority rights and laws. All materials are the property of Twitch or its subsidiaries or affiliated companies and / or third-party licenses, unless otherwise expressly stated in writing by Twitch. By agreeing to these terms of service, you are granted a limited, non-sub-licensable, and non-transferable license. For example, a personal unlimited right to access and use the Twitch services for your personal use or internal business use only. Twitch reserves all rights not expressively granted in these terms of service. It's been like 13 minutes and the sun is still in my eyes. All right, let's continue. Twitch reserves all rights not expressly granted in these terms of service. This license is subject to these terms of service and does not permit you to engage in any of the following. A. Resale or commercial use of the Twitch services or the material. Distribution, public performance, or public display of any of the materials. Modifying or otherwise making any derivatives use of the Twitch services or the materials or any portion of them. Use of any data mining, robots, or similar data gathering or extraction. Damn, I can't speak today. Extraction methods. Downloading, except page caching of any portion of the Twitch services, the materials, or any information contained in them, except as expressly permitted on the Twitch services, or any use of the Twitch services or the materials except for their intended purposes. Any use of the Twitch services or the materials except as specifically authorized in these terms of services without the prior written permission of Twitch is strictly prohibited and may violate the intellectual property rights or any laws unless explicitly stated in these terms of service. Nothing in them shall be interpreted as conferring any license to intellectual property rights, whether by estoppel, implication, or other legal principles. Twitch can terminate Twitch can terminate this license as set out in section 17. Right. So basically, you're supposed to use Twitch how it was intended to be used. And did I skip past the part? I don't think I did. Whatever. Yeah, you're supposed to use Twitch as it was intended to be used, basically, and not, try and use it for some bad purposes. User content. Twitch allows you to distribute, stream, and live and pre-recorded audio-visual works to use services such as chat, bulletin boards, forum postings, wiki contributions, and voice interactive services, and to participate in other activities in which you may create, post, transmit, perform, or store content, messages, sound, text, images, applications, code, or other data or materials on the Twitch services. Right. I read that in a very awkward way, but we keep going. License to Twitch. Unless otherwise agreed to in a written agreement between you and Twitch that was signed by an authorized representative of Twitch, if you submit, transmit, display, perform, post, or store user content under the Twitch services, you grant Twitch and its sub-licenses to the furthest extent and for the maximum duration permitted by applicable law, including in perpetuity if permitted under applicable law, and unrestricted, worldwide, irrevocable, fully sub-licensable, non-exclusive and royalty-free right to A. Use, reproduce, modify, adapt, publish, translate, and create derivative works from, distribute, perform, and display such user content, including without limitation for promoting and redistributing part of all the Twitch services and derivative works thereof in any form, format, media, or media channels now known or later developed or discovered. And B. Use the name, identity, likeness, and voice or biographical information that you submit in connection with such user content. Twitch can exercise these rights in connection with monetizing the Twitch services. Should such user content contain the name, identity, likeness, and voice or other biographical information of third parties, you represent and warrant that you have obtained the appropriate consents and or licenses for your use of such features, and that Twitch and its sub-licensees are allowed to use them to the extent indicated in these terms of services. Okay, so Twitch can just use your content, I think, if it wants to, because, you're on its platform. And, fair enough. With respect to user content known as add-ons, maps, mods, or other types of projects submitted through CurseForge.com or similar sites, the submitted projects, the rights granted by you hereunder terminate once you remove or delete such submitted projects from the Twitch services. You also acknowledge that Twitch may retain but not display, distribute, or perform server copies of submitted projects that have been removed or deleted. With respect to streaming live and pre-recorded audio-visual works, the rights granted by you hereunder terminate once you delete such user content from the Twitch services, or generally by closing your account, except A, to the extent you shared it with others as part of the Twitch services, and others copied or stored portions of the user content, for example, made a clip, Twitch used it for promotional purposes, or for the reasonable time it takes to remove from backup and other systems, or D, Twitch is required by applicable law to retain it. Right. User-friendly representations and warranties. You are solely responsible for your user content and the consequences of posting or publishing it. You represent and warrant that. You represent and warrant that 1. You are the creator or own or control all rights in and to the user content, or otherwise have sufficient rights and authority to grant rights granted herein. 2. Your user content does not and will not A. infringe, violate, or misappropriate any third party right, including any copyright, trademark, patent, trade secret, moral right, privacy right, right of publicity. Damn, I've been stuttering a lot. Publicity, or any other intellectual property or priority right. Right. I've been reading for like 15 minutes now. It's starting to catch up to me. And the light is still on my damn face, bro. Or B, defame any other person 3. Your user content does not contain any viruses, adware, spyware, worms, or any other harmful or malicious code. And 4. Unless you have received prior written authorization, your user content specifically does not contain any pre-release or non-public beta software or game content on any confidential information or Twitch or third parties. Twitch reserves all right and remedies against any users who breach these representations and warranties. Content is uploaded at your own risk. Twitch uses reasonable security measures in order to attempt to protect user content against unauthorized copying and distribution. However, Twitch does not guarantee that any unauthorized copying, use, or distribution of user content by third parties will not take place to the furthest extent permitted by applicable law. You hereby agree that Twitch shall not be liable for any unauthorized copying, use, or distribution of user content by third parties and release and forever waive any claims that you may have against Twitch for any such unauthorized copying or usage of the user content under any theory. To the extent permitted by applicable law, the security measures to protect user content used by Twitch herein are provided and used as is, and with no warranties, guarantees, conditions, assurances, or any terms that such security measures will withstand attempts to evade security mechanisms, or that there will be no cracks, disablements, or any circumvention of such security measures. My mouth is starting to, hurt a little bit. My jaw, my lips, my saliva starting to turn into foam because I've been speaking so much. Promotions. Users may promote, administer, or conduct a promotion, for example, a contest or sweepstakes, on, through, or utilizing the Twitch services, provided that if you choose to do so, you must adhere to the following rules. You may carry out promotions to the extent permitted by applicable law, and you are solely responsible for ensuring that any promotions comply with any and all applicable laws, obligations, and restrictions. 2. You will be classified as the promoter of your promotion in the applicable jurisdictions, and you will solely be responsible for all aspects. You'll be solely responsible for all aspects, and for a second I thought I saw a typo, but no, it's just me reading badly. You will be solely responsible for all aspects of and expenses related to your promotion, including without limitation the execution, administration, and operation of the promotion, drafting and posting any official rules, selecting winners, issuing prizes, and obtaining all necessary third-party permissions and approvals, including without limitation, filling any and all necessary registrations and bonds. Twitch has the right to remove your promotion from the Twitch services if Twitch reasonably believes that your promotion does not comply with the terms of service or any applicable law. Twitch is not responsible for and does not endorse or support any such promotions. You may not indicate that Twitch is a sponsor or co-sponsor of the promotion. And 4, you will display or read out the following disclaimer when promoting, administrating, or conducting a promotion. This is a promotion by your name, full stop. Twitch does not sponsor or endorse this promotion and is not responsible for it. All right, so that's actually a thing I didn't even know. You have to read out a disclaimer every time you want to do a giveaway or anything. And I'm pretty sure the sun is still in my fucking eyes, man. Fucking hell, mate. Political activity. Subject to these terms of service and the community guidelines, you may share political opinions, participate in political activity, provide links to a political committee's official website, including the contribution page of a political committee, and solicitate viewers to make contributions directly to a political committee. You agree, however, that these activities are entirely your own. Moreover, by engaging in these activities, you represent and warrant that you are eligible to engage in them under applicable law, and that you will abide by all relevant laws and regulations while doing so. You agree not to solicit the use of or use any... My camera was tweaking out right there. You agree not to solicit the use of or use of any Twitch monetization tools, for example, bits or subscriptions, for the purpose of making or delivering a contribution to a candidates committee, political action committee, ballot committee, or any other campaign committee, or otherwise for the purpose of influencing any election. Candidates for political office are not eligible to use any Twitch monetization tools on their channels. That's an interesting one. So if you're running for president, you can't gain money from Twitch, which is something hidden in the fine print. I did not know that. Right. Branded content. Twitch recognizes that some users collaborate with brands and may publish branded content, which is any user content featuring, using, discussing, or promoting products, services, or specific content in exchange for something of value, such as being paid or provided with goods or services. Branded content includes, without limitation, paid product placements, endorsements, and sponsorships. Twitch allows you to publish branded content using the Twitch services, provided that your branded content complies with these terms of services and applicable law. If you choose to publish branded content on the Twitch services, you agree to use Twitch's branded content tool, which provides a written disclosure to viewers that your live stream contains branded content. In addition, you agree that you are solely responsible for ensuring that your branded content complies with any and all applicable advertising laws, regulations, and guidelines, including without limitation the U.S. Federal Trade Commission's guidelines, the advertising guidelines. For example, if you have been paid or provided with free products in exchange for discussing or promoting a product or service through the Twitch services, or if you are an employee of a company and you discuss or promote that company's product or services through the Twitch services, you agree to comply with the advertising guidelines requirements for disclosing such relationships to indicate the commercial nature of the branded content. Damn, my lips are dry. All right. Oh, shit. Prohibited conduct. You agree not to violate any law, contract, intellectual property, or any third-party right not to commit a tort, and that you're solely responsible for your conduct while on the Twitch services. Not to commit a tort. All right, we have to take a break right here to check what this means. Tort. A tort is a civil wrong other than breach of contract that causes a claimant to suffer loss or harm. Right. We learn things on this channel. We learn things every day. All right. Damn. I've never heard of that word before. All right. You agree that you will comply with these terms of service and Twitch's community guidelines and will not 1. Create, upload, transmit, distribute, or store any content that is inaccurate, unlawful, infringing, defamatory, obscene, pornographic, invasive of privacy or publicity rights, harassing, threatening, abusive, inflammatory, or otherwise objectionable. All right. And 2, impersonate any person or entity, falsely claim an affiliation with any person or entity, access the Twitch services accounts of others without permission, forge another person's digital signature, misrepresent the source, identity, or content of information transmitted via the Twitch services, or perform any other similar fraudulent activity. 3, send junk mail or spam to users of the Twitch services, including without limitation on fuck. Oh shit. Including without limitation unsolicited advertising, promotional materials, or other solicitation material, bulk mailing of commercial advertising, chain mail, information announcements, charity requests, petitions for signatures, or any of the preceding things related to promotional giveaways such as raffles, contests, and other similar activities. So you cannot beg for money on Twitch, right? Hope that's clear. All right. 4, harvest or collect email addresses or other contact information of other users from the Twitch services. 5, defame, harass, abuse, threaten, or defraud the users of the Twitch services, or collect or attempt to collect personal information about users or third parties without their consent. How long have I been recording for? All right. Damn. It's crazy. 6, delete, remove, circumvent, disable, damage, or otherwise interfere with A, security-related features of the Twitch services or user content. B, features that prevent or restrict use or copying of any content accessible through the Twitch services. C, features that enforce limitations on the use of the Twitch services or user content. Or D, the copyright of or any priority rights notices on the Twitch services or user content. 7, reverse engineer, decompile, disassemble, or otherwise attempt to discover the source code of the Twitch services or any part thereof, except and only to the extent that this activity is expressly permitted by the law of your jurisdiction of residence. 8, modify, adapt, translate, or create derivative works based upon the Twitch services or any part thereof, except and only to the extent that such activity is expressly permitted by the applicable law, notwithstanding this limitation. 9, interfere with or damage the operation of the Twitch services or any user's enjoyment of them by any means, including uploading or otherwise disseminating viruses, adware, spyware, worms, or any other malicious code. 10, relay email from a third party's mail servers without the permission of that third party. 11, access any website, server, software application, or other computer resource owned, used, and / or licensed by Twitch, including but not limited to the Twitch services, by means of any robot, spider, scraper, crawler, or other automated means for any other purposes, or bypass any measures Twitch may use to prevent or restrict access to any website, server, software application, or other computer resource owned, used, and / or licensed by Twitch, including but not limited to the Twitch services. 12, manipulate identifiers in order to disguise the origin of any user content transmitted through the Twitch services. I think that means you can't use a VPN on Twitch, which is interesting. 13, interfere with or disrupt the Twitch services or servers or networks connected to the Twitch services, or disobey any requirements, procedures, policies, or regulations of the networks connected to the Twitch services. Use the Twitch services in any manner that could interfere with, disrupt, negatively affect, or inhibit other users from fully enjoying the Twitch services, or that could damage, disable, overburden, or impair the functioning of the Twitch services in any matter. 14, use or attempt to use other users' account without authorization. I just stumbled on my words, damn. Without authorization from that user and Twitch. 15, attempt to circumvent any content filtering techniques we employ, or attempt to access any service or area of the Twitch services that you are not authorized to access. 16. Attempt to indicate in any manner without any prior written permission that you have a relationship with us, or that we have endorsed you or any products or services without for any purpose. Damn. So Twitch is basically saying, like, don't lie on our names. Like, don't say you have any connections with us or you're gonna get sued, basically. Yeah. Damn. I've been recording so long that the lighting changed. Damn. 17. Use the Twitch services for any illegal purpose or in violation of any local, state, national, or international law or regulation, including without limitation, laws governing intellectual property and other priority rights, data protection, and privacy. To the extent permitted by applicable law, Twitch takes no responsibility and assumes no liability for any user content or for any loss or damage resulting therefrom, nor is Twitch liable for any mistakes, defamation, slander, libel, omissions, falsehoods, obscenity, pornography, or profanity you may encounter when using the Twitch services. Your use of the Twitch services is at your own risk. In addition, these rules do not create any private right of action on the part of any third party or any reasonable expectation that the Twitch services will not contain any content that is prohibited by such rules. Holy shit, damn. I think I'm only like halfway through. Twitch is not liable for any statements or representations included in the user content. Twitch does not endorse any user content, opinion, recommendation, or advice expressed therein. And to the extent permitted by applicable law, Twitch expressly disclaims any and all liability in connection with user content. To the fullest extent permitted by applicable law, Twitch reserves the right to remove, screen, or edit any user content posted or stored on the Twitch services at any time and without notice, including where such user content violates these terms of service or applicable law, and you are solely responsible for creating backup copies of and replacing any user content you post or store on the Twitch services at your sole cost and expense. And any use of the Twitch services in violation of the foregoing violates these terms of service and may result in, among other things, termination or suspension of your rights to use the Twitch services. For the residents of the European Union or the European Economic Area, the United Kingdom, where I'm from, or Switzerland, who are acting as a consumer, Twitch will only remove, screen, or edit user content for justified reasons, including without limitation, where such user content violates these terms of service or applicable law, and 2, except where such notice would be unreasonable or legally prohibited considering the specific circumstances of the individual case. Twitch will, without delay, notify you of the reason for taking the relevant step. Okay, so I think if you're in Europe, you get a warning if you get banned. But if in America, they can just remove you without any warning, basically. Simulcasting. When you are streaming live on the Twitch services, you may simultaneously live stream or broadcast, simulcast, on any other network, platform, or service that supports live streaming of user-generated content. Only if you ensure that the quality of Twitch users' experience of your simulcast is at minimum no less than the experience of any other platform or services, including by your engagement with the Twitch community, for example, via chat. So that's interesting. If you're multi-streaming, you're forced to talk to the Twitch chat as well as any other platform, or else, you might get banned. Also, you do not provide links or otherwise direct your community to leave Twitch for your simulcast on any other service, because we value the community on Twitch and the integral role community engagement plays for all Twitch users. So you cannot redirect any people from Twitch to any other platforms, which is crazy because I'm pretty sure some people do that. I'm pretty sure XQC does that. So yeah, he's just breaking the rules. You do not use third-party services that combine activity from other platforms or services on your Twitch stream during your simulcast, such as Virgin Chat or other features, to ensure the Twitch community is included in the entirety of your of the experience of your live stream. Collectively, these are referred to as the simulcast guidelines. Advertisements. Twitch has the exclusive right to monetize the Twitch services, including without limitation the exclusive right to sell, serve, and display advertisements on the Twitch services. Third-party advertising networks are not allowed to serve advertising through the Twitch services. However, you can publish branded content using the Twitch services as set forth in Section 9 above. Recommendations. As part of the Twitch services, we will recommend content that might be of interest to you. For more information, please see the recommendations on Twitch. Respecting copyright. Twitch respects the intellectual property of others and follows the requirements set forth in the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, DMCA, and other applicable laws. If you are the copyright owner or agent thereof and believe that content posted on the Twitch services infringes upon your copyright, please submit a notice following our DMCA guidelines, which include further information about our policies, what to include in your notice, and where to submit your notice. 15. Trademarks. Twitch, the Twitch logos, and any other product or service name, logo or slogan used by Twitch, and the look and feel of the Twitch services, including all page headers, custom graphics, button icons, and scripts, are trademarks or trade dress of Twitch, and may not be used in whole or in part in connection with any product or service that is not Twitch's, in any manner that is likely to cause confusion among customers, or any manner that disparages or discredits Twitch. Without or prior written permission. Any use of these trademarks must be in accordance with the Twitch trademark guidelines. All other trademarks referenced in the Twitch services are the property of their respective owners. Reference on the Twitch services to any product, services, processes, or any information by trademark name, trademark, manufacturer, supplier, or otherwise does not constitute or imply endorsement, sponsorship, or recommendation thereof by us or any other affiliation. Third-party content. This is a long one. In addition to the user content, Twitch may provide other third-party content on the Twitch services, collectively the third-party content. Twitch does not control or endorse any third-party content and makes no representation or warranties of any kind regarding the third-party content, including without limitation regarding its accuracy or completeness. Please be aware that we do not create third-party content, update, or monitor it. Further, what? No, holy shit, my brain is melting. Oh my god. Right. Therefore, to the extent permitted by applicable law, we are not responsible for any third-party content on the Twitch services. You are responsible for deciding if you want to access or use third-party websites or applications that link from the Twitch services, the reference sites. Twitch does not control or endorse any such reference sites or the information, materials, products, or services contained on or accessible through reference sites, and makes no representations or warranties of any kind regarding the reference sites. In addition, your correspondence or business dealings with or participation in promotions of advertisers found on or through the Twitch services are solely between you and such advertiser. Access and use of reference sites, including the information, materials, products, and services on or available through reference sites, is solely at your own risk. So if you click on an advertiser link, basically you're on your own. Twitch has nothing to do with it. Idea submission. By submitting ideas, suggestions, documents, and / or proposals, the submissions, to Twitch or its employees, you acknowledge and agree that Twitch shall be entitled to use or disclose such submissions for any purpose in any way without providing compensation or credit to you. So right now, if I did a good idea, if it's my brain is melting. Oh my God. If I said a good idea right now and Twitch overheard it, and I said, Twitch, please do this, they don't have to give credit to me and they don't have to give money to me, which is crazy. Termination. You may terminate your license to use the Twitch services and this terms of service agreement at your discretion at any time by ceasing to use the Twitch services, or if you are a registered user, by deleting your Twitch account. For residents of the European Union or the European Economic Area or of the United Kingdom, that's where I'm from, who are acting as a consumer, you may have a right to withdraw from or cancel the agreement for the use of the Twitch services under these terms of service within a specific calling off period. When and how this right may apply is explained in our EU, EEA, and UK consumer right of withdrawal information. To the fullest extent permitted by applicable law, Twitch reserves the right, without notice and in our sole discretion, to stop providing the services of or any features to you or to users generally, to terminate this terms of service agreement with you, to terminate your license to use the Twitch services, including to post user content, and to block or prevent your future access to and use of the Twitch services for any reason, including without limitation, if A, your use of the Twitch service violates these terms of services or applicable law, B, you fraudulently use or misuse the Twitch services, or C, we are unable to continue providing the Twitch services to you due to technical or legitimate business reasons. Our right to terminate our services, this agreement, and your license includes the ability to terminate or to suspend your access to any purchased product or services, including any subscriptions, Prime Gaming, or Turbo accounts, to the fullest extent permitted by applicable law. Your only remedy with respect to any dissatisfaction with the Twitch services, any term of these terms of services, any policy or practice of Twitch in operating the Twitch services, or any content or information transmitted through the Twitch services, is to terminate your account and to discontinue use of any and all part of the Twitch services. For residents of the European Union or the European Economic Area, the United Kingdom, that's where I'm from, or Switzerland, who are acting as a consumer, except in the case where Twitch reasonably considers that given notice is legally prohibited, for instance, when providing notice would either violate applicable laws, regulations, or orders from regulatory authorities, or compromise an ongoing investigation conducted by a regulatory authority, or that any notice may cause harm to you, third parties, Twitch, and / or its affiliates. For instance, when provided notice harms the security of Twitch services. Twitch will without delay notify you of the reason for its actions. We're almost there. We're almost finished, all right? Almost done. Disputes. Indemnification. To the fullest extent permitted by applicable law, you agree to indemnify, defend, and hold harmless Twitch, its affiliated companies, and each of our respective contractors, employees, officers, directors, agents, third-party suppliers, licenses, and partners. Individually and collectively, the Twitch parties from any claims, losses, damages, demands, expenses, costs, and liabilities including legal fees and expenses arising out of or related to your access, use, or misuse of the Twitch services, any user content you post, store, or otherwise transmit in or through the Twitch services, your violation of the rights of any third party, any violation by you of these terms of service, or any breach of the representations, warranties, and covenants made by you herein, you agree to promptly notify the Twitch parties of any third party claim, and Twitch reserves the right at your expense to assume the exclusive defense and control of any matter for which you are required to indemnify Twitch, and you agree to cooperate with Twitch's defense of these claims. Twitch will use reasonable efforts to notify you of any such claim, action, or proceeding upon becoming aware of it. So Twitch is basically saying you have to have their back no matter what. You know, you have to ride out for Twitch because you're using Twitch. Disclaimers: no warranties. No warranties to the fullest extent permitted by applicable law and except as stated in subsection 2 below. A. The Twitch services and the content and materials contained therein are provided on an as-is basis without warranties of any kind, either express or implied, except as expressively provided to the contrary in writing by Twitch. B. The Twitch parties disclaim all other warranties, statutory, express, or implied, including but not limited to the implied warranties of merchantability, fitness for particular purpose, title, and non-infringement as to the Twitch services, including any information, content, or materials contained therein. C. Twitch does not represent or warrant that the content or materials on the Twitch services are accurate, complete, reliable, current, or error-free. D. The Twitch is not responsible for typographical errors or omissions related to text or photography. And E. While Twitch attempts to make your access and use of the Twitch services safe, Twitch cannot and does not represent or warrant that the Twitch services or our servers are free of viruses or other harmful components, and therefore you should use industry-recognized software to detect and disinfect viruses from any download. No advice or information, whether oral or written, obtained by you from Twitch or through the Twitch services will create any warranty not expressively stated herein. EU, EEA, UK, that's where I'm from, CH warranty rights. For residents of the European Union or the European Economic Area, the United Kingdom, that's where I'm from, or Switzerland who are acting as a consumer, there are warranty rights under applicable law in case of any non-conformity or digital content and services. Such rights shall remain unaffected by these terms of service. In such a case, Twitch offers no further implied or statutory warranties or conditions that, with regard to digital content and services, and explicitly disclaims all implied warranties and conditions to the maximum extent permitted by applicable law. You acknowledge that we may change the Twitch services from time to time without causing its non-conformity, including when needed to comply with applicable law or regulation or for justified commercial, security, or operational reasons, and included to make any improvement to your access to the Twitch services. I've been speaking for about an hour now, which is crazy. I thought this was going to take like 30 minutes. Damn. Limitation of liability and damages. To the fullest extent permitted by applicable law, in no event shall Twitch or the Twitch parties be liable for any direct, special, indirect, or consequential damages or any other damages of any kind, including but not limited to loss of use, loss of profits, or loss of data, whether an action in contract, tort, including but not limited to negligence, or otherwise arising out of or in any way connected with the use of or inability to use the Twitch services. The content or the materials, including without limitation any damages caused by or resulting from reliance on any information obtained from Twitch, or that result from mistakes, omissions, interruption, deletion of files, or email errors, defects, viruses, delays in operation or transmission, or any failure of performance, whether or not resulting from acts of God, communications failure, theft, destruction, or unauthorized access to Twitch's records, programs, or services, and B, in no event shall the aggregate liability of Twitch, whether on contracts, warranty, tort, including negligence, whether active, passive, or imputed, product liability, strict liability, or other theory arising out of or relating to the use of or inability to use the Twitch services exceed the amount paid by you, if any, for accessing the Twitch services, included during the 12 months immediately preceding the date of the claim, or $100, whichever is greater, to the extent that applicable law prohibits limitation of such liability. Twitch shall limit its liability to the full extent allowed by applicable law. To the extent required by applicable law, nothing in these terms shall restrict our liability for death or personal injuries caused by Twitch, for damages caused by Twitch's fraud, willful misconduct, or gross negligence, and for other losses that may not be excluded or limited by applicable law. Reference sites. These limitations of liability also apply with respect to damages incurred by you by reason of any product or services sold or provided on any reference sites or otherwise by third parties other than Twitch, and received through or advertised on the Twitch services, or received through any reference sites. Basis of the bargain. You acknowledge and you agree that Twitch has offered the Twitch services, user content, materials, and other content and information, set its prices, and entered into these terms of service in reliance upon the warranty, disclaimers, and limitations of liability set forth herein. That the warranty, disclaimers, and limitations of liability set forth herein reflect a reasonable and fair allocation of risk between you and Twitch, and that the warranty, disclaimers, and limitations of liability set forth herein form an essential basis of the bargain between you and Twitch. Twitch would not be able to provide the Twitch services to you on an economically reasonable basis without these limitations. Applicable law and venue. To the fullest extent permitted by applicable law, you and Twitch agreed that if you are a subscribing organization or a consumer resident of a jurisdiction other than those in 2 and 3 below, the following governing law and arbitration provision applies. Holy crap, I'm slurring my words, bro. This is bad. Please read the following carefully, because it requires you to arbitrate disputes with Twitch and limits the manner in which you can seek relief from Twitch. A. You and Twitch agree to arbitrate any dispute arising from these terms of service or your use of the Twitch services, except that you and Twitch are not required to arbitrate any dispute in which either party seeks equitable and other relief for the alleged unlawful use of copyrights, trademarks, trade names, logos, trade secrets, or patents. Arbitration prevents you from suing in court or from having a jury trial. That's some interesting thing in the fine print. Apparently you can't sue Twitch. And I'm pretty sure that's bullshit, but that's what it says here. You and Twitch agreed that you will notify each other in writing of any dispute within 30 days of when it arises. Notice to Twitch shall be sent to Twitch Interactive Incorporated, their address, You and Twitch further agreed to attempt informal resolution prior to any demand for arbitration, that any arbitration will occur in Santa Clara County, California. That arbitration will be conducted confidentially by a single arbitrator in accordance with the rules of JAMS, and that the state or federal courts in Santa Clara County, California have exclusive jurisdiction over any appeals of any arbitration award and over any suit between the parties not subject to arbitration. Other than class procedures and remedies discussed below, the arbitrator has the authority to grant any remedy that would otherwise be available in court. Any dispute made between the parties will be governed by this agreement and the laws of the state of California and applicable United States law without giving effect to any conflict of laws, principles that may provide for the application of the law of any other jurisdiction. Whether this dispute is heard in arbitration or in court, you and Twitch will not commence against the other a class action, class arbitration, or other representative action or proceeding. For residents of the European Union or the European Economic Area, the United Kingdom, that's where I'm from, or Switzerland, who are acting as a consumer, these terms of service and any dispute claims or cause of action arising out of or in connection with them will be governed by the laws of the state of California and applicable United States law, provided that this choice of governing law will not deprive you of the protection afforded to you by provisions that cannot be derogatory. I'm slurring my words again. That cannot be derogated from by agreement by virtue of the laws applicable where you habitably reside. In such cases, disputes shall be resolved in the competent civil courts as determined by applicable law. If you are a resident in any jurisdiction other than those named in which the arbitration provision in the section above is found to be unenforceable, then any disputes, claims, or causes of action arising out of or in connection with these terms of service shall be brought and resolved by the state or federal courts in San Francisco County, California, or if required by applicable law, then by competent civil courts within your jurisdiction or of residence. If the governing law provision in that section is found to be unenforceable, then the laws of your jurisdiction of residence shall govern. Right, this whole section is basically saying you can't sue Twitch unless certain circumstances. You know? It's crazy. Right in the fine print. Claims. To the extent permitted by applicable law, you and Twitch agreed that any cause of action arising out of or related to the Twitch services must commence within 1 year after the cause of action accrues. Otherwise, such cause of action is permanently barred. Missing salience. Waiver. Is this the last section? I think this is the second to last section. Alright, let's lock in. Missing salience. Waiver. If we fail to exercise or enforce any right or provision of these terms of service, it will constitute a waiver of such right or provision. Any waiver of any provision of these terms of service will be effective only if in writing and signed by the relevant party. Severability. If any provision of these terms of service is held to be unlawful, void, or for any reason unenforceable, then that provision will be limited or eliminated from these terms of service to the minimum extent necessary and will not affect the validity and enforceability of any remaining provisions. Assignment. To the extent permitted by applicable law, these terms of service and any rights and licenses granted hereunder may not be transferred or assigned by you, but may be assigned by Twitch without restriction. Any assignment attempted to be made in violation of these terms of service shall be void. Damn. How long have I been recording for, dude? Just 4 minutes. All right. Because I have to keep resetting the recording. Otherwise, this will be hard to edit and all that bullshit. Right. Survival. Upon termination of these terms of service, any provision which by its nature or express terms shall survive will survive such termination or expiration, including but not limited to sections 7 to 10, 14, and 16 to 19. Entire agreement. The terms of service, which incorporate the guidelines, is the entire agreement between you and Twitch relating to the subject matter herein and will not be modified except by a writing signed by authorized representatives of both parties or by a change to these terms of service made by Twitch as set forth in section 6 above. 21. Contact information. The Twitch services are offered by Twitch Interactive Incorporated at Twitch's address. If you are a California resident, you may have the same information emailed to you by sending a letter to the foregoing address with your email address and a request for this information. Twitch Interactive Incorporated is a company registered in the U.S. state of Delaware under file number 4221511. For questions or more information, please visit our help desk or write to us at the address above. The EU Commission provides a platform for online disputes resolutions at this website. Please note that Twitch is not obliged. Please note that Twitch is not obliged to participate in such dispute resolution. This is the final one. Finally, after an hour, I can finally be set free. All right, let's lock in. All right, deep breaths. All right. Requests for information and subpoenas. I do not know how to pronounce that word. All requests for information or documents related to potential, anticipated, or current legal proceedings, investigations, or disputes must be made using the appropriate level of legal process. Please see our service of process page for more information. Holy shit. This video is gonna take an hour to edit. I mean, not an hour to edit. It's going to be an hour. And it's going to take me years to edit. Holy shit, bro. Holy fuck. We finally did it. So there was a lot of things I learned. You know, for example, you can't sue Twitch. If you sue Twitch, basically you have to handle it man-to-man between Twitch and yourself before you actually go to court. You can't redirect people from your Twitch account to other similar platforms. I don't know how well they'll enforce that rule. There's also other, stuff in there. You can't post, explicit content. Who would have known? You can't harass people. All such. I can't even speak. I'm slurring my words because I've been speaking straight for the past hour. My lips are dry. I'm gonna have to drink water. Yeah, end of video.